As we continue to go into our position rankings, the interior offensive line class is one of the better groups in the draft. Whether it be at center or at guard, there are a number of players who are extremely versatile who I think are going to be very good NFL players. And today's prospect is no different. Arkansas center Bo Limmer is a guy that I absolutely loved when I turned on his tape last year, and is a guy who I thought had a pretty solid season overall in 2023. In a loaded offensive line group, where does Limmer rank amongst the other interior offensive linemen in the class? That is what we will be talking about in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Ring that notification bell and stay tuned as my complete interior offensive line rankings will be coming out very soon. But without further ado, let's take a closer look at Bo Limmer. When you look at the numbers for Limmer over the last couple of years for the Razorbacks, not a lot's really going to stand out. His production has been a little iffy. In 2022, Limmer played a majority of his snaps at right guard, and he finished with 983 snaps on the year. He allowed 7 hurries, 1 hit, and 4 sacks on the year, which aren't amazing numbers, but you certainly saw the upside with him. It was more of the same in 2023, where Limmer transitioned to play center, taking over for Ricky Stromberg. He finished the year with 809 snaps, and he allowed 9 hurries, 0 hits, and 3 sacks on the year, which is slightly better. At the Senior Bowl, outside of 1 rep against T'Vondre Sweat, Limmer was absolutely fantastic. There really isn't a lot to not like when it comes to what he has to offer. Limmer is a very fluid athlete and moves extremely well for his size. He is rangy and he has a lot of really strong tools. His movement abilities are my favorite. He is light on his feet and he has a lot of athleticism to move into the second level, which I absolutely love. He showed some strong potential as a run blocker due to his movement and his hand placement. Limmer also had great hand placement, as I just mentioned, in both the pass game and in the run game. He gets his hands on the outside shoulders and he's able to win the rep early and often because of his great hand placement. Limmer thrives as both a run blocker and a pass protector. He has the fundamentals necessary to be a very good player. He has light feet, great hand placement, and I think overall he has some of the higher potential of any of the centers in the draft class because of the tools that he has to offer. One area of concern with Limmer for me is his size. He has the height, he has the length, but he lacks the girth necessary for the center position. He weighed in at 6'5", 302 pounds, and I'd like to see him add on a bit more weight. Usually, I wouldn't be too concerned, but it definitely affects his level of play. He isn't a super strong player, and he lacks that finishing ability. I think if he could improve on his strength and add on some more weight, he would end up being a bit higher on my board. The other area of Limmer's that does concern me is his balance in the run game. Sometimes he'll play overly aggressive and will overshoot the gap and miss his assignment altogether. His balance as a pass protector is fantastic, but when it comes to his run blocking, he can be a bit out of control at times. I'm not too worried about it, and I think with good offensive line coaching, it can get better, but it is something I noticed on numerous occasions. Bo Limmer is a guy who I really love, and I have been super high on since before the season started. But this is an absolutely loaded interior offensive line class, and he lacks some of the ideal tools that I look for in an interior prospect. With that being said, he is my number 9 interior offensive lineman. His athleticism and his versatility are both things that I really value about him, and I think he's got some really good fundamentals, and that can take him far in the league. Limmer is extremely scheme versatile. Whether it's in his run blocking or his pass protecting, Limmer showed the ability to do it all for the Razorbacks in his collegiate career. And I think that his game is going to translate seamlessly to whatever NFL team decides to draft him, or whatever scheme that team runs. Limmer reminds me slightly of a more athletic, less productive version of John Michael Schmitz from last season. Schmitz was ended up taken by the New York Giants in the second round, and neither of them were the most physically imposing players and were a bit undersized for the center position. Schmitz has more nasty to him and is a bit stronger, but I think Limmer and him are similar in terms of the fact that they both are undersized centers who have a lot of athletic upside. Bo Limmer may be limited in terms of his strength, but he has all the athletic abilities and fundamentals to play in the NFL for a long time. I am a big fan of what he has to offer, and ultimately, I believe that Bo Limmer will be a 3rd to 4th round pick in the 2024 NFL Draft.